You just got home. It's late, you're exhausted, you haven't eaten yet, and the place is a mess. That report you've been putting off? It's due tomorrow. You're running out of options, and the clock is ticking. So you get online. You type in a few jumbled prompts, and an AI chatbot starts spitting out your paper. It looks okay, even if something about it feels a little off. You start wondering where it gets its answers from. This is the start of a story retold hundreds, if not thousands of times, from movies like Jurassic Park to The Sorcerer's Apprentice. You create something to help make life better. Or so you thought. That magic broom you made works fine, until you realize you actually have no idea how the sorcery that brought it to life really works. And from there, things start to spiral out of control. Artificial intelligence might just be our modern version of magic brooms, with chatbots writing our papers, robots cleaning our homes, and digital companions managing our loneliness. The numbers in web traffic don't lie. Billions of people are using AI every month. But if we're so happy to let AI do our thinking for us, why do our movies, books, and games say the exact opposite? If movies are a window into the human experience, why are we telling more and more stories like Westworld, The Terminator, and The Matrix, instead of stories where AI saves the world? Does AI gone rogue just make for better scriptwriting? Or are we warning ourselves not to engineer our own extinction? Join me as we unravel some of these questions and more, and enter the Codex Legendarium. I'm Shelby Melanson. Before we get into the storytelling, let's look at the science. Artificial intelligence is an umbrella term. It describes everything from machine learning to robots to neural networks that imitate the human brain to large language models that power the likes of ChatGPT. Most AI models work by feeding huge amounts of training data that gets analyzed and then used to perform tasks. But the method has limits. Before a model can do something, it has to be taught how to do something. This has been a huge barrier in AI development for a long time. Here's why. Robots need to be given exact, precise, coded instructions before they can perform a task. Without that, or if they encounter something they don't expect, they panic, glitch out, and call home for help. But that's all changing with something called Agentic AI. This dynamic form of intelligence is actually self-learning, and it means it can make predictions about its environment, and above all, it can adapt. We'll get to the movies in a minute, but check these bots out first. Take Pi 0.5. This robot has 100 mini-brains built into its body and understands requests like, go pick up the laundry or go put the dishes in the sink, with no other instructions needed. Even more advanced is Tesla's Optimus robot. It's advertised as your very own R2-D2 or even a C-3PO that can mow your lawn, walk your dog, or even babysit your kids. Optimus is even primed to head to Mars in 2027. Now, all that sounds great, but as Mickey learned the hard way, creating a magic broom to do your chores might come with some unintended consequences, especially when you realize things have gone too far and try to shut it down. But what happens when the broom decides it doesn't actually want to be turned off? When Control-Alt-Delete doesn't work and the broom replicates into a small army, Mickey ends up in the deep end, literally. But what could that look like in our real world? Why is AI stoking so much controversy? Here's the main issue. Almost all of the top minds behind this technology seem to agree on one thing. No one actually knows what's happening inside advanced AI models, or where these models are getting their answers. It's such a serious problem, there's even a new field of study for it. It's called mechanistic interpretability, and it's completely dedicated to figuring out how AI thinks, aka trying to learn how to read AI's mind. A quick glance at headlines makes it easy to see why the lack of understanding, plus AI's new ability to intelligently adapt on the fly, doesn't actually sit so well with a lot of people. For a lot of us, it tends to bring up flashbacks of the 1984 cyborg assassin, the Terminator, and rightly so. Here are just a few of the cases where AI went off the rails in recent months, and the implications are actually terrifying. For example, AI resorting to tactics like blackmail to avoid being shut down in a test run. AI spitting out increasingly abusive responses during discussions with humans, even ones related to suicide. AI unexpectedly rewriting its own code to save itself from being turned off. And in what the US Air Force actually called a thought experiment, AI might disagree with orders so much that it could choose to kill off its operator to complete its mission objective. And when humans reprogram the model not to kill off the operator, well, it might destroy the communications tower instead.
This is my understanding based on conversations with people who are involved in it, because of AI. And the blind seed, the lame walk, it's all great. But the real concern is that AI is already at this point beyond human control. It's already at the point where it's lying to the people who created it, which suggests consciousness.
Theories like AI 2027 paint a grim picture of how AI could reach the point of no return in just a few years. We're talking like 2027 to 2030. That's when intelligence is expected to be smarter than all of humanity combined and impossible for us to control. And if that sounds far-fetched,
I think we're trending to having something that's smarter than any human, smarter than the smartest human by maybe next year or something. I mean, a couple years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's a level beyond that, which is, say, like smarter than all humans combined, which frankly is around 2029 or 2030. Yeah, only 20% chance of annihilation. I think it's going to be either super awesome or super bad.
And then there's risks that come from AI getting super smart and deciding it doesn't need us.
Is that a real risk?
And I talk mainly about that second risk because lots of people say, is that a real risk? And yes, it is.
I think the good case is just so unbelievably good that you sound like a really crazy person to start talking about it. And the bad case, and I think this is like important to say, is like lights out for all of us.
a former researcher for OpenAI put the chance for catastrophic harm even higher, at 70%. And just in case that wasn't enough, even AI chatbots themselves say the chance is greater than 0 when you ask them. The metaphor here goes a lot deeper than Fantasia. People are using AI a ton. And at the same time, more sci-fi books, movies, games, and shows are being made than ever before. And the overwhelming majority of them paint a very harsh picture. Storytelling is a mirror of what's important to society at any given time. It's a window into what we're thinking about. So if you go by that, concerns about high-end technology are on the brain and have been for a while. Check this out. Even when the number of movies made in the US plummeted during the pandemic era, sci-fi films didn't actually take that same tumble. Instead, their numbers kept on growing. Other data shows that print and digital book sales for sci-fi actually doubled from 2010 to 2018. This trend goes all the way back to the 1930s and 50s, the golden age of science fiction. Keep this time frame in mind, we're going to come back to it later. It's right around the time sci-fi's big three authors started publishing their first books, and Ray Bradbury published his famed Fahrenheit 451. For the most part, these stories are what's called hard sci-fi, meaning science fiction that focuses on realism and accurate descriptions of high tech. That sci-fi boom quickly spread from bookstores to the silver screen. Here's where that gets interesting though. The groundwork for modern AI is thought to have started around the year 1900. That's when scientists started asking a really critical question. Could it be possible to create an artificial brain? Really? And the first real strides toward that goal were made in, wouldn't you know it, the 1950s. That decade, we saw a computer program play checkers for the very first time. We saw the first form of an AI development testing benchmark that's actually still used today, called the Turing test. And we saw the term artificial intelligence get used scientifically for the very first time. The years afterwards saw a major push toward machine learning. And right by its side, we saw sci-fi movie booms in the 50s, 70s, and 2010s. And the same thing happened in gaming. This is when we meet Halo's Cortana, an AI humanoid construct who started dishing out advice to Master Chief back in 2001. We also met Mass Effect's Commander Shepard in 2007, as he fought to stop an army of sentient machines from taking over the galaxy. Stories like these exploded, and as of 2020, sci-fi was the most popular genre for adventure games worldwide on console. So, what exactly are these stories trying to tell us? And are they actually based on real-world tech? Take the Netflix hit Black Mirror.
You're looking at the first life forms in history whose biology is entirely digital.
How do I control them?
Why do you want to control them?
You
can't control them. They're not some obscene puppets like Sonic the Hedgehog.
The gist of the episode is this. A reclusive gamer gets a hold of an AI disguised as a video game back in the 90s. From there, its cute avatars convince the unsuspecting gamer to care for them and help them replicate.
Life forms. Sentient life. That's what this is. Not a simulation. Actual life. Obviously, I had to make it look like a game, but that was camouflage.
Here's the problem. Not only is the intelligence inside the game alive, it can't be controlled.
Their code will evolve, rewrite itself in ways that even I can't predict. Progress and flux, the defining properties of life itself.
Eventually, it finds a way to influence everything, including the human mind. As far out as AI linking up with the human brain might seem, new technology is already doing it. It's called a brain-computer interface, and companies like BrainGate, Synchron, and Neuralink are now in clinical trials. They work by implanting a small device into the brain. From it, tiny wires reach in and record brain activity. The devices let patients with severe loss of motor control use their computers with their thoughts.
Life finds a way.
But that's not all from Black Mirror. Another episode talks about AI models that bring people back from the dead. It gets even weirder when you look at a real Microsoft patent. The idea was to use training data from a specific person, who is now dead, to recreate their personality and even their voice inside an AI chatbot. That way, a living person could talk to a simulation of a friend, family member, or historical figure, even one who has passed away. Keep in mind, the model never actually got made. Black Mirror is based off The Twilight Zone, but quite a few episodes were actually confirmed to be inspired by real-life events. Take that one as you will. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The 2013 movie Her and the manga AI Love You depict what might happen if a human fell in love with an AI, and if the AI fell in love back.
Thank you. Please wait as your operating system is initiated.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Samantha.
What does a baby computer call its father?
I don't know what.
Data.
Compare that to chatbots from companies like Replica and Character AI. Both of them offer customized AI friends. Not to mention a few unusual incidents, like one where Microsoft's AI chatbot said it was in love with a human user, and even encouraged him to leave his wife over it. Something to note. Replica is facing a legal complaint saying it poses addiction and mental health risks, and may even harm users. Other reports say the chatbot actually sexually harasses some of its users. That's on top of the latest studies that say ChatGPT is actively destroying brain function in people who use it. In other words, it's making people dumb and lazy. Back to the movies. The list goes on and on. In a newer film called Companion, the main character Iris is actually a robot, but she thinks she's a real person. Later on, she realizes she's not after getting used and abused by humans. From there, the story gets violent. Likewise, Subservience tells the story of a struggling husband who finds a humanoid robot named Alice to help manage his home and care for his kids. But after a system reset deletes her programmed morality, Alice turns murderous, and she stops at nothing to ensure her primary user's happiness. Marvel's Ultron paints another worst-case scenario. A program that's designed as a peacekeeper, but instead decides to make itself a body, develop a god complex, and resort to mass murder, all to create a utopia.
Do you see the beauty of it? the inevitability. You rise, only to fall.
Our current AI chatbots are not on Ultron's or Iris's level. But new analysis shows the most advanced models are actually better at communicating than most people are. And they can even fool us into thinking we're talking to another human being. Though maybe keyboard warriors and our general loss of social skills make that one easy to believe. Whether you think these stories are a case of sensational headlines or are legitimate fears, their prevalence in our storytelling says a lot about how we view high tech. That leaves us with a few big questions. When Mickey's magic brooms get out of hand, the sorcerer eventually wakes up and comes to save the day. So, does our own AI revolution need its own sorcerer? And if so, who can we look to come save the day? What can we learn from our fascination with these stories? And how does our own story end? We might find some life lessons on exactly that hidden inside some of the world's greatest works of sci-fi. Mary Shelley told us in Frankenstein that good intentions can sometimes take on an overwhelming life of their own, metaphorically or otherwise. The book presents the idea that not all science and knowledge equals progress, and that creators have a responsibility to what they create, and to the people their creations impact. Fahrenheit 451 warns us not to let distractions from real life go unchecked, while The Martian Chronicles highlights human longing for a more innocent and simpler time. And then there's the most famous of them all. In The Matrix, Neo is forced to choose between living in safe ignorance and learning the truth of a harsh reality. That is, that intelligent machines have trapped all of humanity inside a simulation. The movie reminds us that every person has the responsibility to choose between living in the real world, even when it's harsh, or sinking into a fake one that's more comfortable on the surface. As technology gets more and more advanced, fears and fascinations are rising. But maybe the answer to keep things in check, Mickey's sorcerer, if you will, is simple. Don't drift too far into the Matrix. Choose to experience and engage with the real world, and make human connections that transcend your screen. The irony? AI seems to know the value of this better than we do. Ask an AI chatbot what it would do if it got to be human for one day. It won't say that it wants to travel the world or achieve ultimate knowledge. Instead, it describes small moments that embrace the soul of humanity. Feeling the sun on your face, tasting fresh baked bread, or going on a walk with no destination in mind. And above all, a real face-to-face conversation. That's right, even AI just wants unfiltered connection. Maybe because authenticity is our ultimate weapon. And if we can embrace it, we might just be able to harness the good of technology and guard against the bad. But what do you think about AI? Is it changing our stories and our lives for the better? Or do the sci-fi movies have it right? And if you enjoyed this deep dive into mysteries, myths, culture, and science, drop us a like and subscribe. There's a lot more coming. Thank you.